this video we will study about how to enabling and disabling interrupts. Okay, because an interrupt can stop the currently executed program and branch to the interrupt service routine. That means in the previous videos we studied about that when an interrupt occurs, the processor pauses the currently executed program and started the execution of the interrupt. Okay, and another thing is the interrupt can occur any time during the execution of a program. Okay, as there is no specific time, you cannot say that after executing 12 number of instructions, during the 13th number instruction execution, interrupt will occur. Anytime it can occur. So for these reasons we have to sometimes we have to disable the interrupt and again enable. Let's take an example that when you were studying, studying is not appropriate as during the studying any interrupt can possible and you can be interrupted. Okay, you are watching a video. Okay, watching a video in your phone, and during that time a group message comes, and if this message comes from me, then you will definitely see that what madam will send. So, and if in that case some friends give a message, okay, thank you, like this, okay, you will not pause your video and you are continuing to see your videos, and after that you will reply. Okay, in this type of case both are interrupts during your movie. Both are interrupts, maybe my message, maybe your friends, but during my interrupt you are disabling or you are pausing your currently executed program or your movie, and you have to reply me. Okay, sometimes not, but yes. Okay. And if in my place your friend sends some message and you will like okay, I will send you later, okay, I will reply him later or her later. Okay, so sometimes we have to disable and sometimes we have to enable. For this reason, some processor provide some special machine instructions such as interrupt enable and interrupt disable that performs these tasks. Okay, these are some scenarios which will show how to handle the interrupts or how to enable or disable the interrupt request. Okay, so first the device has to raise an interrupt request. First you have to produce an interrupt request, then the processor interrupts the currently executing program and saves the content on PC in the processor stack. As we have seen previously during the interrupt, I have already told you about that. And then interrupts are disabled by clearing the IE bit in the process stack to 0. Okay, IE means interrupt enabling bit in the PS. Okay, means if you have to disable something, then you have to you have to set the enable bit to 0, and enable bit is in your PS stack or stack in the stack. So the action requested by the interrupt is performed by the interrupt service routine, during which time the device is informed that its request has been recognized, and in response it deactivates the interrupt request signal. During the hardware interrupts, I have told you that when you receive a request from a device, then you have to give it a response that yes, we received your interrupt, and now you deactivate your interrupt signal and don't send interrupt request again and again. Okay, like let's take the previous example. If you will not reply your friend at that point of time, then it will continuing to send the messages to you, or so you have to reply. At least you have to reply that yes, I am busy now, talk to you later, sometime. So this type of response you can give him, so that it will deactivate the interrupt request signal, or it will he or she will stop to send the message. Okay. Then after the completion of interrupt service routine, the safe container PC and PS register are restored. That now you have to enable the bit that yes, other devices can send the message, or other devices can interrupt, or it can request an interrupt by setting the interrupt enable bit to 1, and execution of the interrupt program is resumed. Okay. And in the next, the processor has a status register. Here we will take it as PS, which contains information about its current state of operation. Okay, PS is the program status register. Let's 1 bit IE interrupt enable of this register be assigned for enabling and disabling interrupts. As we know, a register contains more than 1 bit of data, so the IE bit is used for enabling and disabling the interrupts. Then the programmer can set or clear IE to cause the desired action. That means if the interrupt enable is 1, then you can accept an interrupt, or any device can request an interrupt. But if the IE bit equals to 0, if the IE bit equals to 0, then the processor simply ignores all interrupt requests. That means interrupt is disabled. Any devices cannot request any type of interrupt. Okay, and sometimes the processor automatically disable interrupts before starting the execution of the interrupt service routine, and the processor saves the content of program counter and the processor status register after saving the content of PS register with the IE bit is equals to 1. Okay, and then it clears the IE bit by disabling the same thing I have written here. Okay, so in this form, by using this bit, interrupt enable bit, you can enable and you can disable. If it is 1, then you can accept the interrupt request. If it is 0, then you cannot accept any type of request. So if you have to set, once you accepted one interrupt, then you have to set it as 0. That means you are disabling all the interrupts, and now or you have to inform all the devices that I am working in on an interrupt you request later, and after executing that interrupt you have to set the IE bit equals to 1, so that they will get a message, other devices will get a message that yes, now you can send an interrupt. So this is all about enabling and disabling of interrupts. If you have any type of doubt, you can ask me.